Okay, so we're going to do a march to a building that's unoccupied. We're in San Francisco in the Panhandle at Oak and
Fell and Ashbury. Yeah.
And Ashbury, thank you. And I'm getting you out of the shadow here. I'm talking to two beautiful young women who are in high school, are very modest. And this is San Francisco, did I say that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now, we had a book fair, an anarchist book fair here over the weekend, and they came to this march, which is all about the fact that so many people are living on the street now because of the economic problems in this country, especially San Francisco. And there is an unoccupied building. I'm just trying to pan over to it says justice.
Oh, no, sorry. This says housing is a human right. Yeah, housing.
Okay, talking to the camera here. What does it say?
It says housing is a human right.
And tell me your name.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah. And she just read this.
Yeah.
I can't quite. Yeah. All right. Housing is a human right. Mm-hmm. And you are. Tell me your name.
I'm Zoe.
Zoe.
Yeah.
So Sarah and Zoe came to this today because they went to the anarchist book fair here in San Francisco yesterday. So explain to me, Sarah, why you came. First of all, let me ask you your. I'm sorry, Zoe. Sorry. I'm
shorter name, shorter person. Longer name, taller person.
Thank you. Now, tell me your age.
I'm 18.
And Sarah?
I'm 16.
Wow. Okay, I just said to these beautiful young women that I was really pleased to see young people getting politically active. And Zoe, some idiot is, oh, that's James back there. All right, now I have to edit this out of it. But
it's real. It's real life.
Yeah, I know, slice of life. That's James. He does his weird stuff. Okay, anyway, I've known him for a long time. He always does this. Okay, anyway, all right. So, seriously, back to the subject matter. So, Zoe, the shorter of the two with the shorter name, explain to me why she came to this today.
Well, I'm not personally sure whether I'm an anarchist, but I believe in equality, and I believe in justice, and I believe in integrity, and I'm going to find the political, social, and philosophical route that leads to those things. So I find that this march leads to something that I want for all people. I want all people to have housing. I want all people to have a home. So that's why I came.
And you're willing to get out there and do something about it.
I think that's the only way it has to be.
And can you tell me, you're in high school in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me where, what grade, what level?
We are juniors and we go to the Branson School. It's in Marin.
Oh, it's in Marin. Mm-hmm. So did you drive over here for this?
I actually live in the city.
You live in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And do you also live
No, I live in Marin.
You live in Marin. Mm-hmm. So you drove over here for this.
Yeah.
Good for you. That took a little bit of effort. You were willing to do that.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of good events in San Francisco that you have to, and the East Bay that has, you have to make the effort to go to, but they're great events. So
it's much easier to be, politically active in cities instead of Marin.
But you want to be politically active. Now, you told me a statistic about people in your age group a moment ago.
Yeah.
Tell me that again. You're different from that statistic you just told me.
It's pretty ridiculous. Between the age of 13 to 18, somewhere between like 75 to 80% of kids do not know who are running the countries of our allies, like Britain, who's the Prime Minister of Britain, who's the Prime Minister of Australia, who's the Prime Minister of Belgium. No one knows these things in our age group, and that's going to be really important, especially me. I just turned 18. I'm going to be making decisions, and if kids in our age group do not know who's in charge, they can't make proper decisions.
Excellent. Do you know what's happening with the United States government right now?
In what area and how so?
Okay, I kind of blindsided you with a general question. Do you know that the Republicans are threatening to shut the government down?
Yes.
You know about that?
Yes, I do.
So tell me what you know about that.
What I've heard is that the government needs to get a budget, and if there's no budget, we can't exactly give money to everyone if we don't know what money is being distributed. So the Republicans want to shut down the government so that we have time to make a budget. The only problem is that when they shut down the government, they only mean the administrative bodies that give us, you know, our mail, the administrative bodies that help the people. They're not willing to shut down the bodies that give them their salaries. So to me, I don't think that's shutting down the government. I think that's exploiting the system. So it's completely unethical, and I agree with the idea that if you're going to have a budget, you need to make it and make sure that everyone has a piece of the pie. But if they're doing it just so that they can get their salaries first, that's not right.
Okay, what they are doing is have the president's arm up behind his back, and they want to get the money to resolve the budget problems from the American taxpayers instead of from the tiny and the 400 people at the top of this culture who are
they have insane amounts of money. Oh, it's insane. Like, what's this? I'm sure you know this. Like, what's
Do you know the statistics on this?
I'm not sure about the statistics. I just know the top 400 people. They control millions and millions of other people's wealth. So because they're all part of the banking and they have so much power because of their money. But I don't know the exact numbers.
Yeah, you know this. You're 16 and you know this.
Yeah.
And that is spectacular. I'm serious. And do you know that what they want to do is get rid of Medicare, they want to get rid of Social Security, they want to get rid of, one of the big threats they were making was that the soldiers wouldn't be paid.
Like pensions and entitlements?
No, they're paychecks. I mean, that's part of this threat. Yeah, and
I'm personally against war, but I'm not against taking people's livelihood.
That's what they were threatening.
Well, if
this is holding everybody hostage in this country.
I totally agree. My mom is a small business owner. I totally agree that people need to have the right to thrive in a culture that is totally stacked against them. It's awful. But the thing that needs to happen is we need to have politicians, yes, the government needs to be shut down, but the politicians also need to accept that they need to let go of their paycheck. I think if that happens, we'll be closer to making better change.
Don't you think the big corporations and those 400 people ought to be taxed?
Yes. That's not even a question.
Okay.
Not even a question.
You think maybe they could stabilize the budget with that money?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
It would be put to much better use.
It would be put to much better use than getting a G6 or whatever. That's a great poster.
Okay. Let's see. Can you read it to me? Because I'm not.
It just says capitalism still kills. So what they're referring to is kind of the housing situation here, because capitalism has forced tons of people out of their homes. So for them, they become homeless, and many do die. So that's kind of a direct relation. But what we've been talking about also with...
No, but that's exactly, you're bringing it back to why we're here today, and I'm really glad that you did that. You're seeing the connection between this housing takeover and the homeless people on the street and what's happening with our capitalist system of government in this country. And that's exactly, that connection is the key. That's the key. Yeah. And you see that, and I think that's fantastic.
Well, thank you. It's very prominent in San Francisco. Like, we have a homeless population, and you know,
for a long time.
And you know, our school has been very active in community service. And I actually do Habitat for Humanity, where I go and I build houses, and I see how people actually need it. And for me, I know that I would not be the person who I am without the home I live in. So it just goes back to what this sign is saying, that housing is a human right. It really is, because it's integral to who we are as nesting creatures. It's integral to how we develop as a society and how we interact. If you have a firm home and firm foundation, you're happier. You do better.
It is a human right. And Roosevelt, who started the New Deal that the Republicans are trying to destroy.
New Deal, yes.
Yes, so they want to, that's what they're about. They want to get rid of it completely, everything that the New Deal is
halfway
about.
there, taking away Glass-Steagall. I mean, that was awful.
You are so informed. No, my major reason for interviewing you was because I'm so excited that people in your age group are finally paying attention, and I think it's partly because you see how this will be affecting you in your future.
Yeah.
And the damage that it will do to you.
It's definitely not every single teen. I think you're surprised for a reason. But I mean, most of our friends are pretty informed. But I mean, I definitely know people who are not informed.
Yeah.
So it's easy to not be informed. It's easy to be informed.
And so thanks for helping to inform us.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, Sarah and Zoe.